Hey, you guys, what's up? It's Parthenex here.
Pain and agony awaits you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, there's no point in really trying to hide your name because really no one's going to remember except me.
I don't care.
This is YouTube.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's
I still like
thousands
to
of...
go
Yeah, you could
by
try.
Parthenex.
Yeah, you
Anyway,
could try, but
anyway,
I'll go until, it's found out, really.
it doesn't really
But I'll
matter.
still go by par regardless.
anyway, I'm Ben Livid.
Hi, I'm the white guy that no one cares about, and this is our friend Danny, who's joining us today. Say
Yep.
hello to the camera, even though there's none.
Hello. We're visiting from the Good and Bad podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, we're storming the castle, as it were.
We're profane.
All with our 7 subscribers.
All of
Yes.
us but me.
Yeah, you're here for continuity issues, because we can't have just 2 white guys and a black guy. We need to have something to balance it out a little bit more. So 2 minorities and 2 majorities. There you go. It's even now. And immediately demonetized. And immediately demonetized.
It's about popular sovereignty, dude.
Anyway, so yeah, you can.
It won't be.
you can
This video won't be monetized for a while, so don't worry.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about that Jack Black movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of Jack Black's final films, A House with a Clock in Its Walls, based off of a book that nobody read.
Except for me and you. So
Yeah, like I said, nobody read.
That's true.
It would help if you guys could explain it, because I'm the only one here who hasn't
Can
seen
I try? Can I
Well-
try?
Well, first off,
Can I please?
yes, you can try. But first off, I'd like to preface this by saying people assumed it would be a Harry Potter ripoff, and it was not.
Spoilers, by the way, for those of you that are.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we'll do the things
Obviously.
later.
Since
Anyway.
we haven't started even talking about it yet, we have put the spoiler and warning in now, so you guys
Yeah,
know.
that's
You
fine.
guys know.
There it is.
You can't get mad at
Yeah,
us.
so here's the premise of the movie. Jack Black is a warlock in a house that's haunted by inexplicable magical forces.
So it's a biopic.
Essentially.
It's his real life.
Yeah. But his entire house is like chock-a-block full of clocks and weird shit because...
Goosebumps 3.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. And he has like this neighbor that's obsessed with purple and they don't say why. And he's visited by this kid who's his nephew whose parents died in a car crash because Harry Potter. Anyway, so you're literally saying it's not a Harry
It's
Potter
not
ripoff.
Harry Potter.
It literally is a Harry Potter ripoff.
But it's not. It's different in tone and presentation.
Yeah, but it's still a Harry Potter ripoff. Anyway, so the kid shows up and they're like trying to keep the magic shit away from him. But he's like, I want to be a magic person too. I want to be a magical boy wearing short shorts and fucking pink shit with a wand like the anime characters do. No, that didn't
You're
happen.
gay.
That did. Thank you. Anyway, that's not what happened. So he was like taught how to use magic, and he was like trying to impress this young Fonzie-looking character who had like the I'm an asshole haircut and was like a
Is
jock.
that Jack Black?
No, that was some kid, some little kid who's like, "You're not doing real magic. It's a bunch of bullshit."
It was
And
like
he's
the
like,
Fonzie kid.
and he's like, "I will resurrect a dead guy to prove to this asshole kid that I'm cool," and he did it. And then the kid said, "Fuck you," anyways, even though he literally just raised the dead for him. And then the dead guy ended up being the old owner of the house. There's a bunch of problems with a fat lady becoming actually a small Mexican woman. And it
This
was
movie
just,
sounds...
it was just a
It
clusterfuck
was
of
actually
shit.
not bad.
I'm explaining. Oh yeah, and there was the Jack Black's head on a baby's body.
That was terrifying.
That was.
This movie was supposed to be like a horror comedy mystery. The only scary part was the CGI Jack Black baby.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
It was terrifying.
Because they even peed.
I could not quantify.
Family picture.
I could not quantify how scary that was.
Oh yeah, and then the only problem I had with the film, because that was basically the entire description of the film. A bunch of other spoilers and bullshit doesn't matter. What I had a problem with is how they glanced over the kid killed 2 people. He
Yeah.
killed.
Okay, explain that. What?
He was like the clock that's supposed to basically restart the planet because of course it can.
Restart time.
Because of course it can.
He made a deal with a demon.
Yeah, I know.
The
Azazel.
Prince of Hell.
Which wouldn't
The fourth
exist in
Prince
the
of Hell.
beginning. Which
Azazel.
wouldn't have existed in the beginning of time, so there's a problem. Anyway, so like, the clock is about to start up to rewind of everything, and this kid's like, I gotta stop it, so he throws his magic 8-ball in the mechanism to stop it, and of course it works. And then when the 2 antagonists are trying to fix the clock again, he picks up some electricity from it and zaps them, and they fall into the clock and die. They're like incinerated out of time. They're just gone. And it's like, that's it. It's just like...
They did gloss over that. But if you want to get
It's
right
like,
down
yeah, I just murdered 2 people and no
So,
one cares.
just like Harry Potter, he commits murder.
if you want to get right down to it, on a technical and narrative level, nothing is really wrong with this movie at all. The issue with the film is that it's just kind of underwhelming. It's mediocre. It's not bad by any stretch. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. It's better than I initially thought it was going to be. Oh, cool, flushing toilet.
Yeah, but they're flushing a bird. It's horrible.
Who
Who the fuck goes like that to flush something dead? It's like,
For context, we got Poltergeist playing on the TV here.
yeah,
as
just
we're
in case we
talking.
run out of stuff to talk about, we can talk about this weird '80s movie.
You know, flushing a toilet in movies actually got you an automatic R back in the day?
Yeah,
I
because
was not aware of
because back in the old days, you're not allowed to show couples sharing the same bed, bathrooms with toilets being used, anything like that.
that.
So
Well, old
that's
days,
why
how long ago? How old are we
black
talking
and white
about?
still.
Yeah, the first film
Like-
to actually show a flushing toilet was
Psycho.
Psycho.
Yeah,
Hitchcock's Psycho.
yeah, that was like the first one. It's legit. But yeah, it's just it was a weird movie. I didn't hate it, and the music was alright. But what I liked is that at the end credits they showed some of the book characters and what they actually looked like, and it reminded me a lot of a horror game that came out back in 2014 called Never Ending Nightmares. It's like a similar art style, and it's really just it's good stuff. But
When did the book get released?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've read it, but
Because the first Harry Potter book came out in '95, I think.
yeah, which is weird because Harry Potter's parents died in '98.
Nah.
Continuity and shit. And then like the last book ends in 2016
Nah.
because reasons. Anyway, so yeah, the movie was alright. The
Yeah.
score was pretty good.
Overall, like, my critical score is a 6.5 out of 10 because it's okay. It's not that great. No, there's nothing technically wrong with it. There's a few charming moments here and there. Jack Black does a great job.
There are a couple of distasteful jokes in my opinion in the thing, like how they had one of the side protagonists, the woman that lived next door, literally gas a room full of robots and they died.
Dude.
Like straight up just gassed them,
Dude.
like World War II style.
You saw what was on her arm, right?
Yeah, it's fucking
What was
Jew
it?
stamp. There was a Jew stamp on her arm. She
What
was
is
like
a Jew stamp?
the people, when the people go
like,
to camps in World
She
War
was
II.
in a camp.
And any,
She had a number, like she was in a
any,
concentration camp.
yeah, any Jew in Germany was marked with a number.
But she was in France at the time, which was invaded by Germany. But yeah, she had the stamp on her, so she just gassed a room full of robots and had no problem with it. I would have been like, nah.
Connor, this took place in 55. You have to understand.
I know, but still,
it was
it's-
a different time.
But it was still distasteful back in in '55,
Nobody cared about Jews back in 55.
except for everyone, except for the Germans.
That demonetized icons going
Yeah.
from yellow to red now.
I'm just stating facts here.
Oh boy.
Like, the Pope during World
This
War
was-
II, Pius the 12th, who was the
Alright.
Pope during the Second World War, absolutely hated Jews. Not
Yeah.
a joke.
Yeah, that's true.
Mel Gibson hates Jews. Miley Cyrus hates Jews.
That's serious.
Yes.
Oh come on, she made a thing about breaking down walls. Doesn't that sound a little Nazi to you? But yeah, so
I'm not saying I'm anti-Semitic. I'm a black guy. I'm just saying it was 55.
You can be black and anti-Semitic.
Oh, I
but-
can be. I can be.
You just can't be a
I saw
Nazi.
Straight Outta Compton. I
you just
know.
can't be a Nazi
Yes. By
because you have
definition, I
to
cannot.
because you have to be blonde hair, blue eyes, and white.
I'm just saying. I'm stating a fact. In 1955, people probably didn't care that much about Jews. Correct me if I'm wrong, honestly.
I am correcting you because you're wrong.
Well, fuck
The
you.
only people that didn't were the dead Germans, because literally everyone was like, "Oh my God, we did this horrible thing to horrible people." To this,
Oh yeah,
Okay.
America felt
Mm.
super guilty because we're the ones who turned them away.
yeah, we're no one back in maybe in like the early '40s, no one cared about them, but now back in the '50s, yeah, they would have. Also, another thing that I had a problem with the movie is the fact that Jack Black was too Jack Black for the movie, because like he said shit that wasn't a phrase in the '50s,
What?
like jamming. That was not a
Wait,
thing.
it took place in the movie took place in the 50s?
Yes, it took place
1955.
in 55.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I assume the book was written at that point.
or it was a movie that took place in the past.
Mm.
Either way, literally some of the phrases that he said, like the woman across the street was like, "You play your saxophone at 3 in the morning" with her shitty little dog named Marmalade, some fat white chick with like, I'm a Nazi looking bitch, just horrible looking character with this ugly ass dog. She's like, "You play your saxophone too loud at 3 in the morning." He's like, "These are my jamming hours," and it's like, first of all, No.
Jamming
Because,
was a word.
one, white people in the 50s didn't play saxophones because that was considered a Negro thing to do. Sorry if I sound racist, but that's how it is. Secondly, jamming hours was not a thing that was invented until the late 60s.
The word jamming is a word, though. Was the word, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't used to talk about music. It was used to talk about preservatives to put on toast. Jamming. Literally jamming. To jam something.
So that's what dumb nitpicks about the movie. Let's say something we actually like about the movie, like how.
I like the acting of the female protagonist whose name escapes me.
Yeah.
The purple one that gassed the robots.
Yeah, I think the kid did a good job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
all
like
things considered.
even cried for real several times.
I thought that was pretty good. The Jack Black baby thing was scary.
Yeah, that scared the bejesus out of me.
Okay, why did that happen?
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, because like the clock thing was booby trapped, and he tried to use a fake key to stop the clock from going, and ended up backfiring the power of the clock into him, so it turned him into like a sort of baby, but it didn't quite work right.
So
So imagine like
Baby Legs Deadpool, or
no, imagine infant body, normal Jack Black sized head, and it's what you get.
I'd rather not.
It's the worst thing ever.
Do you know what bugged me in the movie? The only thing that bugged me in the movie, the 8-ball thing told him where the clock was.
That scene where he's trying to use the magic was probably the dumbest thing ever.
I'm like,
Because you don't
work?
know, but you remember that where he was like doing this weird fucking flying his arms around everywhere and just looking like a dumbass wearing his purple wool stitched thing and like fucking aviators on his face. Just looking like a fucking idiot. Oh my! And this is like a 2-minute scene where he's trying to use the 8-ball and it's like go into the boiler, under the boiler. It's like whoa. What was weird is that if you actually looked at the die when it was stopped in the clock, it actually said under the boiler on the piece that was in the 8-ball. So it wasn't like magic, it was just on the 8-ball for some reason.
I mean, that could be magic.
Yeah, I guess it could, but still.
Change the wording.
Literal magic 8-ball.
Yeah. Because it was like, the first joke I think was in the movie that made everyone laugh, especially my mom, when she and I saw it together, was when Jack Black picked up the 8-ball. It's like, this isn't real magic, and the kid's like, this is the last thing my parents gave to me before the car crash. It's like bursts out into tears, and he's like,
That was
oh
funny.
my god, I'm so sorry.
That was funny.
Freaking out, like, oh, here's your 8-ball, it's fine. That was kind of funny. Wow, that guy's hair that I remember.
Oh.
All right, we were talking about the movie, not the Jack Black character.
Ooh. Anyway, but yeah, the movie was okay.
It was passable.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it if you have nothing to see on a Friday night and you just want to have a good time with Jack Black.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's not terrible. There's nothing technically wrong with it. It won't offend you in any way.
Yeah.
Unless you're a pussy about gassing robots like Connor.
Shut up. It's a bad thing that happened, and we should address that it's a bad thing that happened.
Gassing robots that tried to kill you is a bad thing?
Yes. Because they were nice beforehand. They were just programmed by an evil warlocks. They were actually nice before they were reprogrammed.
They did nothing before they were reprogrammed. They were just set pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then he even mentioned that's not creepy when they all started working like how they would normally function.
Yeah,
Before
because was it Isaac? Was his name Isaac? Yeah, when he
Yes.
came back. It's like, yeah. And that's not creepy at all. And they're all like, oh, he's back. He's coming home, yada yada.
This guy glossed over the fact, oh yeah, I made a deal with the fourth Prince of Hell. It's no big deal.
Yeah, and they even mentioned it in the book that Jack Black was reading earlier on, like trying to figure out what was going on. It even says Azazel on the book. And it's like, dude, why the fuck would your warlock friend have a picture of specifically Azazel? Also, that's counterintuitive. It's not going to do anything for you.
Yeah, because it's cushioned.
Yeah, it pushes down as much as you push down, so it's like, wow, okay. Wow, that guy does not look good without a shirt on.
I gotta ask, was there any kind of sequel bait that you could identify during the movie?
No.
No. It
No unfinished threads, nothing like that.
No.
There was... Yeah, no.
The last shot in the movie was of a mosaic. It was of a mosaic stained glass window.
Of the three of them is a family. Like a family portrait.
And that
of them.
really just hammers in the main theme of family, which I thought was very well done.
You know, my mom, when I saw it with her, the only problem she had with the film was the fact that there was a Vietnamese girl and a black kid in the school, which would not have happened in
You
the 50s.
would not see a Vietnamese girl in a mainstream
White
50s
school.
high school. A black kid, maybe,
No.
because that was around the time they started forcing integration.
They didn't start that till the 60s. This was 55. This was still when racism was a huge...
What state was it?
Somewhere in the Midwest. I forget. He came from Colorado and went to this state, or went from Wisconsin to Colorado. I think it was Colorado.
Well, depending on where in the Midwest it was, they would have allowed a Negro kid.
Oh, I don't know. Either way, it was my mom that was the
The
only problem.
Vietnamese girl would have been thrown for a loop, though. They didn't allow They didn't allow Oriental children into school until the late '60s.
Oriental children.
Yeah, but just
I mean, just because they used the word back then doesn't mean we use it now.
That's true.
Yeah, and yet I did.
Can we not try to flag this video to get my channel removed?
well, it's your fault for inviting us. I told you our channel has a lot of shit that you don't normally talk about because we're not doing it for money. We're doing it to get our word out.
Well, I'm not doing it for money. I'm just having fun.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not
But
trying to.
if you go too far, then the channel just disappears.
I think it would be too far. I think it would be too far if we just plopped in a picture of my dick.
Yes, it would be.
That would be too far.
Yeah, that would be way too far.
Me talking about Oriental children, I don't think that's too far.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's the term. We should probably think of something safer to use.
Like Asian.
It's something simple.
You mean
Yeah.
the Chinese?
She's not.
Yeah, he and I had an argument on the way out to the
Of
place
an Asian
about
descent or something. I don't know.
what like Vietnamese.
Which is a kind of Chinese.
Yeah.
No. Stop. Oh, for a second, I thought the TV was playing Gomer Pyle. What is that laugh?
That laugh makes me think. Have you guys seen the shit for the new Joker movie? Well, first of
The
all,
Walking Phoenix one?
why is there another Joker movie happening?
It's DC too, and I don't get it.
Why do we need a Joker origin story?
Because apparently everyone was
Once.
tired of Jared Leto already, even though we only saw him in one movie.
And people want to know where the fuck he came from because DC can't get their shit together.
But we've never known. That's kind of
Yeah,
part
I
of
know
his.
that's-
The
like-
thing that makes the Joker's character appealing is the fact that we don't know anything about him. I mean, the only solid origin of the Joker we have is in
He's
the
a
Killing Joke
He was a
book.
failed comedian.
Yeah,
Even then,
and even then, it was heavily implied in the comic and in the movie that the Joker doesn't even fully remember the circumstances of his life.
It's shit he could have just made up, just like always.
Yeah, so it's like the appeal of that character is that we don't know much about him. We know that the Red Hood was real though.
We just need him to, halfway through the movie, sit down in a little coffee shop, see some shit going on, and be like, "Wow, we truly do live in a society."
I think
have a beard.
I think Joaquin Phoenix looks good though.
Joaquin Phoenix.
That's the name of the actor they chose to play the Joker.
Joaquin.
I kind of hope they don't go with the
Isn't
makeup
that the kid from?
they chose.
Isn't that the guy from Suicide Squad that ends up getting his head blown up?
That would be
That'd be funny.
breaking continuity
That would be.
horribly.
Well,
I'm trying to think of Joaquin Phoenix, like where he's from. Was he the one that swing away?
Was he Slipknot? That's a good question. I do not know if he was Slipknot. He was probably Slipknot.
What? No.
The character's name was Slipknot.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
The man who can climb anything.
Yeah, I don't
He
know.
can climb anything. His
I'm-
power is that he can climb anything.
The last thing I
he
heard.
can climb anything.
Yes, I know. The last time I heard the name Joaquin Phoenix, it was from Signs.
You know, let me
I don't
look
know
up
if
what
it
he was in.
Yeah, because last
But
time
he can climb anything.
yeah, which is funny because I'm pretty sure Spider-Man can do that too. So he's like,
But he can also shoot webs.
he's like a lame Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Spider-Man has webs.
Why
This guy can climb.
are DC characters like the lame versions
That
of
whole
Marvel
movie was
characters?
like the lame Guardians of the Galaxy, basically.
It was. And the sad thing is, the thing was that the actors were actually doing their best to make that material work, but it was cut together in a very incoherent way.
As
Were they
Guardians of
though?
the Galaxy, a
With
Star Wars story.
fucking Jared Leto.
You see, Jared Leto, we can't really judge fully because it seems like all of his scenes were just plugged in randomly. So, like, when an actor gives a performance, there's a sense of coherency from scene to scene. Like one thing leads to another. So honestly, I haven't seen all the footage, so I can't really judge his performance properly. When it comes to Will Smith, he was doing a great job playing Will Smith as always.
I'm still pissed that movie won an Oscar.
Yeah, for best makeup and costumes. Now you see, Joaquin Phoenix has been in
Was he in
her.
Signs?
What?
Oh, yep, that was the guy in Signs.
Yeah, he was in
That's the Joker?
Yeah.
That guy?
Yeah, he was in Her, Gladiator, You Were Never Really Here, Walk the Line, The Master, The Sisters Brothers, Signs, Inherent Vice, I'm Still Here, Irrational Man, Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far,
I'm Still
We
Here.
Own the Night, The Village, Mary Magdalene, Two Lovers, Immigrant, Ladder 49, To Die For, Parenthood, Brother Bear.
Basically, he was in a lot of movies.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of movies.
But he does not belong in the as the Joker.
Let's see if there's actually a movie here that I've heard of other than
Joker.
Brother Bear.
Her, where he falls in love with a phone robot, only to find out that the phone robot's actually just a machine that has a voice, like Siri. Which is like everyone in the entirety of the planet that has that same machine talks to this voice of the exact same person.
The point is, Joaquin Phoenix is a very prolific actor. He's been in a lot of films that a lot of people have not heard of. He's played a lot of roles in a lot of different scenarios, so he has range as a performer. I have no doubt that he could pull off this performance, but why they cast him to play the Joker in a Joker origin movie?
It's just
It does not make sense to me.
no, because
Will I like his performance in the movie? Probably. That's left to be seen when the movie comes out in like a year or two.
Do we live in a society? Yes, definitely.
unfortunately.
I mean, I feel like there's more important things to worry about than who plays the Joker. Honestly,
Like who plays Thanos?
yeah.
Everyone gives a shit about Thanos because he did a great job.
Nobody talks about Damien Poitier. He was the original guy to play
Do you know what I'm
Thanos.
curious about? Who's gonna play dead Thanos? Because they're gonna kill Thanos for sure in like the next movie. They have to.
The ghost of Thanos.
The ghost of Thanos.
Well, they didn't
The
kill
ghost of-
Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet.
The ghost of Farquaad.
Oh god. They just do that.
Oh my god, that'd be horrible.
They just... I kind of skimmed over once I got towards the end, but if I remember, they just sent Thanos off to some planet,
Oh yeah.
lives out his days as a farmer after committing
Yeah.
genocide.
Genocide.
That's actually how Infinity War ends. They chose that scene to end Infinity War.
Yeah, I remember
It's the
that.
farm scene, but it has a different connotation from the comic. In the comic, Thanos, like, he reluctantly accepts his defeat. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna live my days out on the farm. These guys bit me. I'm living this. But in Infinity War, what I found interesting is that the connotation was he's content and he's ready to resign from the universe because he's won. He got what he wanted.
Well, not yet.
He wiped out half the universe. What else could a man want?
Spider-Man's getting another movie in a year. I
I
mean,
know. Obviously, they're gonna come back.
Which one?
I'm
Oh, right, the Far From Home one.
fucking. You can't just kill Spider-Man and expect people not to care. It's Spider-Man, and obviously they're gonna bring him back. I mean,
Spider-Man.
and Black Panther, obviously. Black
Ant-Man's
Panther made
still
$1
okay,
billion, and Spider-Man's one of the most popular characters ever created.
That's distasteful. That. Anyway,
If you're,
Yeah.
if you're really bugged about it, go bury a matchbox.
it's not a matchbox.
I know, just
lunchbox.
go bury a matchbox.
That's not a matchbox. That's not a lunchbox. That's a chewing tobacco box.
Oh.
It's used for when they put like tobacco for cigars. If you roll your own or if you chew it.
So how's that distasteful? And why are you giving a dog waffles?
They're digging up a pet cemetery.
Oh.
That's disgraceful. Also, there's an Indian burial ground underneath this house.
That was a bad idea. Why build a house on
The
an
Indian burial ground was the Overlook Hotel from The Shining. This is just a normal graveyard.
You know what's funny?
Still.
In these movies, they use real skeletons. In all 4 of the movies, they use real skeletons.
It's gross.
Why?
Because
Who
it
would
was
really be like, yeah.
to quote an article that explained it. Apparently, using real skeletons was cheaper than getting fake ones.
Yeah, just kill someone, take their bones to some flesh-eating beetles, and just leave them there for a few days.
I do not understand the logic
Obviously.
behind that. I do not understand the logic behind that.
Well,
How is it cheaper?
Because you can't get a good-looking fake skeleton for more than $700,000.
So I guess getting a real one is cheaper. I mean, it worked at Disney.
Well, yeah, just find somebody that you know that's dead, and just hey, to take the crematorium. It's like, yeah, is there any homeless people that died recently? And there you go.
I mean, it worked at the Pirate side at Disney.
Yeah, though I don't think those are real bones there.
There's one
There-
real skull.
Yeah, when it opened, there were more than just the one, but over time they've been replaced.
Yeah, because people are concerned about ghosts.
Well, yeah,
More than ghosts, it's just weird. You got
that it's a health hazard to have body
human
parts around.
remains.
Yeah, but yeah, the park is haunted. I know that, and I don't care what people say. They can shit on me as much as they want to. ghosts exist, and I know it.
I have personally never seen any kind of paranormal activity at the parks, and I have visited many.
It wouldn't
Many
happen
times.
during active hours.
Well, I mean, there is the legend of the Space Mountain ghost.
Yeah.
There's also the legend of the Pirates ghost because people keep on dumping people's remains in there.
No, that's Haunted Mansion.
Oh, that too.
No one cares. No one wants to have their remains put in pirates. The Haunted Mansion's the one everybody wants.
There is no spook. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, the ghosts that are like most well known is the one that's in the dinosaur thing in the train. There's one in there.
I have not heard of that.
I did, because I used to work there and I asked questions at the meetings. There's one of Walt Disney in his old apartment, because they've had stories of where they're cleaning the apartment and the light that would be on when he's there would turn on its own, would just turn itself on, and when the maid would turn off, it turned itself back on, so they just leave it on now. Like, that's the one bulb that they always keep on.
Yeah, I've known about that.
Hey,
I've never known
How
that.
much, how much you guys want to bet that in like 10 years, say I'm like an indie film director or something, or I'm working at a studio as an editor or something, and someone digs up this old video and hears me talking about all this racist stuff?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah, that's
Definitely. They did it
That's
with
what happens.
what's his name from?
James Gunn.
Yeah, thank you.
poor James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn's gonna be fine.
They did it with him.
Well, James Gunn might be fine, but
No, Guardians is gonna.
yeah, Guardians is what's gonna really suffer.
Yeah, Guardians is gonna suffer. I'm not concerned at all about James Gunn. I love the guy. I think it sucks. that he
Everyone
got
else
fired.
does too.
Yeah, I think it sucks that he got fired, and I think it was bullshit. But he's a white man in Hollywood who made two of the most beloved blockbusters over the past few years. He is a hot ticket right now.
Yeah, he said some stupid shit literally 10 years ago. You can't. And apologize for them even before that thing happened.
Yeah, so he's going to be absolutely fine. Disney jumped a gun, and it sucks that he got fired, but he's going to be absolutely fine. The Guardians movies are what I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
DC's gonna just steal him, I swear.
What an asshole.
I mean, they sold Joss Whedon.
Did you see that? The construction workers came in and like ate some beans straight out of the pot and put the spoon back in. What an asshole.
Also stole J.K. Simmons.
Jeez.
They did do that.
They wanted him to come back as J. Jonah Jameson in Homecoming, but then he signed on as Commissioner Gordon in Justice League.
So he couldn't.
So then Disney was like, "Fuck you, then you're not going back," which is a damn shame. He's the best Jameson.
I was super bummed when I played the Spider-Man game that came out recently, and he wasn't J. Jonah Jameson.
Well, the guy was doing his best impression of
But
him.
it was bad.
It's
It sounded
fine.
That actually, if they had actually brought back J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, they actually could have done something funny with Spider-Man mythos. You know how they rebooted Spider-Man as a kid? Because, Tobey Maguire's old. What they could have done is that they could have retroactively made Tobey Maguire Spider-Man again and made him like some sort of college professor and said, oh, he just retired from being Spider-Man. That way the Sam Raimi movies would be canon.
Yeah, but then he's got web shooters and shit. So if he got bit by a spider as well.
I'm glad that it's not an anatomically correct Spider-Man though, because you imagine how bad that would be. Just Spider-Man
I've
in
seen the
ass.
video. Scientifically accurate Spider-Man.
It's the worst thing to ever look at.
You ever see
Like
scientifically
photo
accurate DuckTales?
No.
Yes, it's bad.
Yes.
It's
Has you
basically
guys seen the DuckTales Sinner video though?
No.
no. Is it like where they just
That was
name
a
off
good
all
one.
the sins of DuckTales?
No, I'm gonna put it on right now.
No.
No.
Not
We're talking about stuff.
Not while we're doing this.
It's like a minute long.
No, we're
It's
not
All
while
we
we're.
got is a minute and 10 seconds, so calm down.
like,
You timed this?
Yeah.
He does episodes in time periods.
Good for you. You did a good job.
Saw Spider-Mans.
But yeah.
Yeah, this was an interesting.
Anyway, how do you guys think James Guardians series is gonna turn out? They still haven't pinned down a director.
As long as the person that makes the movie does a decent job of keeping the tone, it'll be fine.
Yeah, because they kept James Gunn's screenplay.
Yeah, as long as they keep the tone, they don't change too much, and they actually look at the previous movies for inspiration for the third, as to what the tone should be, they'll be fine.
Do you know who should do it?
No.
Lord Miller.
Who did?
The Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street.
Yeah. I could see that being okay.
Yep. Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They were also the original directors for Solo until they were removed for creative differences and replaced by Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Imagine if they actually do get hired, and in a year we'll be talking about, oh, Lord and Miller were just removed from the production of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Ron Howard has been brought on to replace them.
I mean, they're still using Gunn's script, right?
Yes, they are.